Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Major's Picks. Tonight, I am joined by a very special guest, Michael, aka Fignata.
How's it going?
We've been going back and forth over the past few weeks on Instagram and Twitter, just trying to get this whole episode ready for you guys. We have a very special themed episode tonight, and the theme is Kamen Rider. So we're going to delve into everything Kamen Rider. We're going to show off a few different Kamen Rider-centric accounts, and we're going to show off our boy Fignata here and all his cool, awesome shots that he's taken. First of all, let's introduce you to our guests. Go ahead, Michael. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
How's it going? I'm Fignata, pretty hardcore Kamen Rider Toku page. A lot of anime too, a lot of comic books and a lot of Marvel and just all sorts of stuff. Mainly though, it's mostly Kamen Rider. It's just something I picked up, I want to say like about 3-4 years ago, and recently got back into. It was something I'd always watched Power Rangers as a kid, and but after learning where Power Rangers really came from, like Super Sentai and all that stuff, it just kind of took over. I do like also a lot of anime stuff. That's huge for me. Jujutsu Kaisen and My Hero Academia and all that good stuff. Just really, it's what I try to highlight on my page. I also do a lot of crossovers too. That's kind of something I'll really try to bring forth in my pictures. A lot of times I'll see what like Marvel character will pair well with like a Kamen Rider and make it interesting.
How long have you been taking pictures now, if you didn't already state that?
As far as pictures goes, let's see. My page, I started it back in August 2018, I think. So it's been about 3 years, I think. I've been doing photography for a long time though. Once I stopped playing baseball, I really didn't have a hobby or anything. And I remember, I can't remember exactly what did it, but I saw some D-Amazing videos. He's always a big inspiration for people. And I go, I think I could do that. And I started on this long ass journey, still doing it. So, and I love seeing the progression too of a lot of my pictures, and I'll go back every now and then and go, wow, I can't believe I started with just a white backdrop and just one figure to where I'm at now. So it's it's been a while.
I can't believe that you've only been doing it for 3 years. I find that crazy.
It feels a lot longer.
It does. I mean, you have a pretty extensive profile here too, and just how good you are with your lighting and just creating like your dynamic poses and everything. It looks like you've been at it for a lot longer than 3 years. Like,
yeah,
you've done some good work.
I try to make it as real as possible as I can. I'll go on Pinterest and I'll look at action poses and I'll just pick one and go, how can I replicate this? How can I make it look as good as possible? And as far as lighting goes, it's that wasn't always that great. I took a lot of building different, styles of lighting. Like now I've got Lume cubes and I got like the Mini Panel Pro. This thing has been huge. I got a ring light, and I try to work in stage lights and try to make it, different colors to make, shit pop a bit. And like that one that you're on now was a really fun one to do.
I love that custom foil effect you got going on too.
Yep, I had to. I saw it on Twitter and I go, that's something I got to try out. So I picked out some foil when I came home one day. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm making stuff for my pictures."
Just sitting there like twisted it up.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, "Whatever."
She's like, "Oh god, just don't ask me to help."
Yeah, exactly. So I also want to make. I always try to make something more unique. I want to have my own style. It takes a while to build it, and once I started feeling it and got in the groove of like, okay, this is me, then I just kept trying to build on top of it and whatnot. And
yeah, dude, and you got so many different styles and stuff, and the way you use the different figures, it's not like just dropping the same figures into the same scenes over and over again. You really change everything up to fit the personalities and everything. So I love that.
yeah.
Now, what's one of your favorite Kamen Rider series, either to shoot or to watch?
To watch, I have to say my favorite is Kamen Rider O's. That's been ever since I watched that one. That wasn't my first though, but it was definitely one of my favorites. It was the one I related to and kind of gravitated to a lot. To shoot, I've really enjoyed a lot of the Saber stuff recently, just with the sword play and stuff, having to work in how to how the guy fights with swords pretty much. It's really cool, and I love those figures too. They and I don't know if you've heard of SHF Upgrade, but
I have.
They help just make those figures so much better with their skirts and stuff that have bendy wire in them and whatnot, and they're really cool. They really shine in photos.
Is that a licensed Tamashi product, or is that like a third party?
It's a third party.
Okay. I've heard of them. I haven't gotten anything from them yet.
Yeah, if you ever need, I mean, you can go through SHF Upgrade themselves, but they're a Hong Kong based group, and their site's a little, it's a little hard to navigate. It took me a couple times to go, okay, I think I'm okay with ordering from them. But
like the first time you go on Mandarake and you're like, what is this?
Yeah, how do I go and I order? Like, this is all weird. I
can't read any of this. I don't know how much I'm about to pay right now.
Right. And especially like when Mandarake, when you order something and then you're like, you have to wait for the shipping price to hit you too. And you're like, oh crap, that's like $20, $30 more than I thought it was going to be. But Tokusatsu, they're my plastic rack dealer. Swear to God, man, I buy so much more stuff from them than anyone right now.
Really?
And yeah, they sell SHF Upgrade stuff. I think they've got like a deal with them or something, and they'll get you those goodies.
Nice. Yeah, they'll take your money.
Yep.
In exchange for goods. That's
exactly.
Awesome. All right. Now, I mean, this is your first time appearing on the Geek Out Network, and I'm affiliated with them. So let's go ahead and do a little geeky background check and just run you through our basic pillars of geekdom, should I say. So as far as comics, do you read any comics or manga by chance?
I am huge in manga. I read shonen like every week, pretty much. Not so much comics. I try to get into, it seems a little harder to get, for me at least, it's a little harder to get into certain comics because you just don't know where to jump in at. But I've definitely read through like Immortal Hulk. That was one of my favorite comic lines.
Nice.
Just because of how just unique that was. And I would love to get an Immortal Hulk head for my SHF Hulk.
I would love some of those, some of the villains from the Immortal Hulk line, the way they're drawn in that book. Oh man,
it's so cool, and just like how grotesque the Hulk looks in that series is just it's really cool. Yeah. I'm really more into like those darker kind of series, like like Berserk's a big one that a lot of things draw from. I just loved how dark it was, and so I love seeing series like Jujutsu Kaisen kind of, I feel like it's not a normal shonen, it seems like it's creating a new style for shonen. It's paving a new path where, a lot of shonen's pretty tame because it's made for, younger boys and whatnot.
True.
But at the end of the day, anyone can still read them. And so, but like a lot of new series are taking these new approaches, which is really, really nice. I like seeing that kind of edgier side of series.
Besides Kamen Rider, what other collectibles do you tend to buy?
Figma stuff. I'll go. Let's see. I've got pretty much all the Figma My Hero Academia stuff.
I was gonna say, are you picky with your Figma? I know I am.
I'm very picky. It really depends. I've got the Figma Fate, a couple of the Figma Fate stuff, which is nice, but you know, some Figmas just do not hold up like other figures do. I know you were talking about your Ochaka having some issues. Thankfully, I never had those, but like my Figma Bakugo was the worst figure I think I've ever picked up from them.
Oh.
And I was super excited when Revoltech decided to pick up the My Hero line.
Well, I remember I got Kamen Rider Spear from Figma, and that thing was a disaster. It was, the arms were falling off him and stuff, and it was just, I was like, oh man, thank God I got an SHF Kamen Rider a little bit after that, and I was like, wow, this quality is miles between.
Yeah, I remember when I was first getting into Kamen Rider, and I was looking at different ones and which ones to pick up, and I go, oh, I want to get Kamen Rider Ryuki. And I saw that there was a Figma version and an SHF version, and I go, I'll get the Figma one.
Probably cheaper.
Biggest mistake. That figure falls apart. It looks sloppy. It just doesn't hold up to SHF. They know what they're doing with Kamen Rider.
Okay, let's see. We've already talked about anime. So what about video games?
I mean, I love video games, but I don't play as much as I used to. I used to just like stay up until all hours of the night and just binge through games. But I've been playing No More Heroes recently because No More Heroes 3 came out. So I was like, well, I haven't played through this series. So I picked it up on the Switch and just been trying to binge through that so I can get No More Heroes 3. I picked up Shadow of Mordor again.
Nice. How was that?
It was a lot more fun than I remember. Just that Nemesis system is just so cool. How there's so many different ways you can kill an orc, and then he'll come back after you've like blown off his head somehow. Just like ruin your day.
That's kind of cool.
What else? God, I really have not been. I was trying to play through Final Fantasy 15 again, and that was a fun game. I remember waiting like 10 years for that game to come out, and just being really.
The one that's online mostly?
No, actually, I think that's
14.
14, yeah. But 15 was like you drive around in the car with your bros.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like a chill time until like the end of the game, and everything's just
goes
like
to
a nightmare. But I've been playing through that. Oh, and Monster Hunter is easily probably one of my favorite games of all time.
Nice. Have you played the latest one?
Rise? Yeah, I was binging through that, and I got pretty close to end game, and I was like, man, this doesn't feel like, it feels pretty empty for a lot of Monster Hunter games. I still really enjoyed it especially because the just like all the added features they did, and the wire bug where you can pretty much be like Spider-Man in a Monster Hunter game.
Yeah, nice, because you're like just scaling cliffs and stuff hella quick.
Yeah, and then you got your you got the Palamute, which is rideable dog pretty much, which really speeds up the game. So yeah, there's a ton of other games I've played and I really love, but when I get home, I have to like separate am I gonna spend time with family? Am I gonna take pictures, or am I gonna play video games?
No, for sure. It's a tough balance. Yeah, you gotta like balance all your different hobbies, otherwise you won't have time for any of them.
Exactly. That's why I stock up on a lot of pictures so I can just post.
Yeah, every day.
Here's an older one, but
I love this one right here.
Yeah, that Bakugo figure is so much fun. It's so photogenic, and he's just such a cool character. He's just so pissed off.
He blows the Figma one out of the water.
Oh, easily. I remember when they announced Figma Bakugo, I put a video on my story of me just taking my Figma Bakugo and throwing it into the trash. I didn't actually do it, of course, but might as well have.
You definitely could have.
Yeah. Like his arms fall off, his legs are all loose. I broke both of the grenade bracer things, and I just have sticky tack holding them up now. But yeah, it's
the Rolltech one's not without its flaws, though.
Yeah, I've got some pretty loose joints. I found this. You know how everyone's got the bracers that has an issue sticking on and like holding. I just my buddy of mine. There's that little tiny like elbow piece that you can just kind of remove.
Yep.
You can put the gauntlet on like all the way and it holds perfectly.
My buddy Jaime told me about that too.
Yeah, that way I saw Kit Bash Customs and his and that little trick where you can drill into the bracer and
a little more.
There's another because there's that piece too on his other arms where it slots in and it works just fine. But I just don't feel like I'm skilled enough to
going through all that.
Yeah, to destroy my figure potentially.
Not until you get another one in hand, at least.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I just got another Revoltech Deku because my first Deku had a leg issue where his leg just kept popping off.
Oh,
and that's a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, it's a pain when you're trying to pose him.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be posing in all sorts of crazy poses, and can't do that with the leg popping out every couple seconds.
Nope. Sometimes you want to pop the leg off on purpose to get certain poses, but no, you don't want it just happening.
Nope.
All right, you ready to get into the featured artists tonight?
Yeah, let's do it. Show these guys off. Nice.
All right, so our first featured photographer tonight is going to be Nick Figure. That's Nick_Figure on Instagram. And thank you, Michael, for the suggestion here.
Of course. Yeah, I love Nick's stuff. His lighting is top notch. He gets really great detail in all of his shots. And I love the eye glow. That's I feel like that's a very unique thing to Kamen Riders is getting the eye glow. Just nice. I've been trying to get into editing myself, and he knows how to do it. He's good at it.
Most artists do use the after edit to get those nice glowing effects, huh?
Mm-hmm. I used to try to get the eyes as glowing as possible without doing that, and I found editing it makes it just look a little bit nicer. But Nick's stuff, he's good with it. I just love on that one the background lighting. It just has that little bit of haziness to it.
Yeah, it totally captures that Kamen Rider feel from the shows.
Yep.
I was going through one of the shows and was capturing some screenshots just of the way they light the daylight scenes and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I want to try to imitate those. A couple of these guys pull it off really well, so maybe we'll see a couple of those shots here while we're looking through their galleries. But that's a really interesting style to pull off.
Yeah, you can take so many good scenes from Kamen Rider. I know I've got just a ton of pictures in my gallery where I'm looking at it's just pictures that I've taken and I'm using as influence. I know in Build there's a really good scene where he just turned into hazard form and he's got this just one light swinging above him, and it just makes him look so eerie and evil. It's really cool.
Nice.
I love that one with the fire. It was really good. The Kuga.
Oh yeah.
It's a nicely lit photo.
Yeah, those flaming effects can be kind of hard to light up, right? Especially because the way they're piped and everything, you got the yellow and the red and the orange. So sometimes the light hits it differently. Or
you could have mine, which are knockoffs, so they light too brightly. They don't look.
I heard the knockoff ones actually take the light a lot better than
the actual ones.
That's what I've always. Yeah, people have always said that. I love this shot right here.
Yeah, he does good. That explosion in the background. I love those effects.
Yeah, I always had a hard time getting those to look good.
Yeah, there's some guys that they know where to place them to where it looks like a giant explosion in the background. Where when I put him down, it's
spacing
like
and stuff. Yeah,
too close.
exactly. You can see the base of them and stuff. You're like, well, that doesn't look right.
Yeah, that doesn't look like an explosion.
Love this Momotaro shot here.
Yep, Momo. I watched through Deno, and I adore that series just for how all the characters, how they work with each other. And Momo, he's so out there.
He's like a weirdo, huh? like,
Yeah,
like kind of comical sometimes.
Yeah, he's well. I mean, that whole series is more on the comical side of Kamen Rider. It's more lighthearted, and I mean, there's some moments in it where it gets pretty super serious. But Momo and the rest of the Imagines definitely keep the lighthearted levels up, and that's why it's so popular. I mean, Deno is a really popular series. It's got a lot of movies with it too, and they always bring back Momotaros as much as they can.
Well, that design is amazing, and you wouldn't think it would be like a not serious character. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of funny that he turns out a little goofy, but I like that pose. That pose looks very fitting for Momo.
The one thing I hate about this figure is those little knee pads.
I actually don't have.
to pop off.
I need to pick up that figure, but I could see that being an issue. There's a couple Rider figures that have that same thing on like the elbows where they just kind of pop off a little bit.
Yeah, it's like an accent piece that just pegs into the knees and the elbows, and that can be so annoying sometimes.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
There you go.
I just love that pose too. It's perfect for O's. Just a little that leg lean, and then his Tora claws.
And you can see how he has the feet perfectly planted on the ground as well.
Yep. That's always like a huge thing too, you know, not seeing like a little lift up of the foot.
Here's a rider from one of my personal favorites, X-Aid.
Okay. X-Aid. Snipe's great. X-Aid's a great
designs for these guys. They're just so out there.
Yeah, and the video game aspect to it. I love how X-Aid's a little bit like Mario in some scenes. It's good.
The whole leveling up aspect and everything is pretty cool too. So,
yeah, I know when you first see level, I think it was level 0, and you're like, that's what this Kamen Rider is gonna be, and then he pops up into level 2, and you're like, oh, okay, this is dope.
I remember when you first see Laser and he's just a bicycle.
Yeah,
like, what the hell? And then that bicycle figure was so expensive.
Oh, dude, it still is, man.
I could not justify it at the time, but I wish I had bought it.
Yep, that's one of those series. It's really good. Oh, love that black.
Perfect.
That's a good figure.
Simple shot here, perfectly balanced lighting.
Yeah, I love the composition. It's a good vertical shot.
Nice lit up eyes like you've been talking about. And it's not like, it's cool too because it's not just like one solid color through the eyes. It has like this kind of shading to it too.
Yeah, it's got that white kind of around the outside a little bit.
Almost like, a headlight. It's not all one color. It kind of
looks like it's reflecting a little bit while it's also
that's neat.
Shooting out the light. Love it.
I wonder how long it takes them to get the eyes lit up like that, looking that good.
It takes me a while. I know that's for sure.
Well, because if you try to use like a loom cube, even if you have like a snoot or something, you're still going to get kind of like right here. See, like if he was using the red to try to illuminate the eyes, you're going to get the red on more of the figure than just the eyes. It's very hard to
yeah. You kind of have
focus
to.
That.
Yeah, exactly. The focusing on the light needs to be a little bit more precise, but being able to edit those eyes, it's a nice quirk to have.
Yeah, it's a nice little tool in your tool bag.
Exactly. There you go.
All right. And here's something that's not Kamen Rider.
Yeah, there you go.
So just to say that, Kamen Rider photographers can shoot a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah. We're not one trick ponies.
Nope. So big shout out to our first feature photographer for tonight, Nick_Figure. Go check him out. Give him a follow. Spread some love. Tell him Fignata sent you.
They got some good stuff.
All right. So we have Supercalifragilistic here. See if you can spell that one.
I love their name. It's quality.
And they have a great gallery as well, full of a bunch of different Kamen Riders.
Mm-hmm. I love that they focus on a lot of the female writers too, giving the female writers some love, which
One thing go ahead.
it's sorely needed. I feel like.
I love the different color compositions they come up with.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and they're really good with the black background, the white background. They do really well with adding in drivers and the gimmicks for a lot of the seasons, which is
something you don't see from everybody.
Yeah, they'll add the progress keys in the background and try to bring their own style to it. It's really cool.
Like here.
Exactly. You don't see a lot of people doing drivers in the background because they're either wanting to just focus on the figure or focus on the driver, but having both of them, it's a cool mix.
It is. Like right here, the way she captured the black background, just perfect and seamless. There's no light shining through.
Mm-hmm.
It's that solid, infinite black background that you strive to get.
Right. I think they do a bit of editing, if I'm not mistaken, but like it's mostly just like white balancing, and to be able to get that pretty much right out of your camera without minimal editing, it's really good. I love the detail in their shots, and the posing too. Look, it works really well.
What I really like about this shot is how they got the focus on the helmet as well as on like the weapon piece here.
Mm-hmm.
Like even though they're not on the same plane, they still have like about the same amount of focus on both.
Yep.
So that's pretty impressive.
It's a really clean shot. And sometimes you don't need a lot to make a figure look good. You just need a black background and know how to pose it a bit.
Well, especially with the Rider figures, I think like their designs are so beautiful to begin with that you really just need to showcase the figure itself, or showcase the design.
Exactly.
Like right here. Like no crazy pose needed or anything. It's just a really good looking figure, and
nope, you're highlighting
simple.
You're highlighting both, the gimmick and the figure itself in one shot. Comes out really well. Yeah, Callie's definitely someone that should have quite a bit more followers.
Yeah, I think all the artists we're gonna show tonight all should have a lot more followers.
Yeah, it's weird too how it's just a lot of the Instagram algorithm just you don't see it because it just shows you what you think they think you want to see.
I feel like Kamen Rider kind of gets pushed to the wayside though too, as opposed to like Power Rangers and things like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember posting like one Power Ranger shot, and it ended up getting shared by Catherine Sutherland, which I think was like the second Pink Ranger.
Nice.
And then that got like 5,000 likes, but then on my post it was still like 300.
Yeah.
It's like that's cool. It's really cool, but it's like you don't get that exposure really. But
it is really cool though when like the actor or the voice actor or the suit actor, whoever decides to like reshare one of your pictures, that's a really cool like just feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was I saw that and I go, what the how did she see this picture? It's a good feeling.
I really like this figure the more and more I see it.
Yeah, Saber. I just got this, like I said, the SHF upgrade skirt for him, and it just makes that figure so much better.
The dragon on his shoulder kind of reminds me of a Digimon, though.
I think it was a lot of people were making the comparisons to Guillemon.
Yep. Okay, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of his forms kind of look like Gallantmon or something. So
I'm not alone.
You're not alone in thinking that. Even I thought that too when I first saw him. It's like, oh yeah.
Imagine Imperial Dramon Kamen Rider. That'd be pretty cool.
And I love seeing on like Twitter and stuff. You can see a lot of fan art, and people will do that. They'll cross over Digimon with Kamen Rider, and you're like, this needs to happen more.
Now, this is the one on the right, the white one. That's Naki.
Yep, from 01.
I really like that design for that figure. I've been seeing that one a lot recently.
It's probably one that, there's a couple of hindrances on it, like on the shoulder pieces. There's like this little piece that kind of breaks off. But as far as like neck articulation, which is a huge issue in a lot of Kamen Rider figures, that figure's neck articulation is insanely good. It gives just like complete control of the neck and everything. And
it has more range of movement in his neck than I do.
Yeah. I mean, because a lot of Kamen Riders will have those collars, and you go to turn a little bit on the figure, and
Scrapes the chin.
yeah, so it's nice seeing those more free roaming designs.
I feel like that's a big issue with Mythic Legions too, though, because they always have the big pauldrons. So whenever you turn them to the side, they're like all you're seeing is like a pauldron and like part of the face.
Exactly.
Like, well, that doesn't look cool.
You can make it work, but
okay, here we go. I really like this one right here.
Yeah, with the broken Tajador coin, it's perfect. It's such a great
really
style.
cool. And that hot white background.
Yep, it blends super well. You can't even tell where the stand is or anything.
No,
so
you can't.
It's really nice put together picture.
That's the best thing about those all white backgrounds.
Yeah, you can blur it out.
Yeah, I mean, just all the portrait shots are just really great, really clean.
Mm-hmm.
Never out of focus. Here's another one.
I love the competition.
I just love the way she shoots this figure.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. It's good composition, good everything.
Yep. All right. So make sure you guys head over to super_califragilistics Instagram page and give them a follow. All right. Our next featured photographer will be DropDead_Charlie. This was another suggestion by Fignata.
Just recently found his page, and I was like, why have I not been following you for longer?
And he's sitting at under 1,000 followers, so this guy deserves way more followers. Look at this shot right here.
Yeah, he posted that the other day. I was like, man, I need to start taking more Zero Nose pictures because that is really getting me inspired.
That is clean.
It's just like minimal posing, just him standing there looking badass, and it just I like the angle of it. That's a lot of my pictures I try to not have just a static angle, but I try to mix it in a little bit more, and this one right here really kind of, that's why I like it, I guess. It feels like something I might try to do. Just just a little bit of an angle, and the background too. I like the whatever those pieces are.
Those like little WWE frames.
Yeah, like I need to find
the entrance. I have a couple of them. I think I bought them off somebody online. I want to say it was like Terraformer or somebody like that. But they sent me, or maybe it wasn't. It was one of the 3D printer guys, but he sent me like a couple of those in a package randomly, and you can like stack them on top of each other and stuff. They're really cool, really versatile.
Those are nice. I like right onto the left of him, he's got a little bit of destruction there of those things.
Some torn curtain looking stuff, but the lighting back there is beautiful too. You got the two-tone, the purple with like the golden light coming from the right.
Yeah, I like that on the right, that yellow from the back. It's highlighting alongside the figure and just making him stand out. It looks really good.
Yeah, super clean. Another one.
Quality shot, just the crispness of it.
Now, here's something I have a little issue trying to get around to is like when you do use your ring light, trying not to get the ring light in the eyes of the figures. That's like that's a big thing that I tried not to do, but it's sometimes it actually looks kind of cool though too. Sometimes it adds a little something. Like
if you kind of get it just in between to where it's got like half of it doing, that's kind of cool, or
almost like a pupil look going on or something.
Yeah. Sometimes when I try to get around that, I'll just put the ring light right above and shoot with other lights, or
just angle it back a little so it's going upwards instead of straight.
Yeah, and sometimes you just can't get around it. That's all right,
As long as those ring lights do a great job though. They have like a pretty good range of lighting for most of the part.
I need to get another one. I feel like that shot is really good at Night Rogue.
This is beautiful. I love the cotton effect in the background, creating that kind of smoky look.
Yeah,
pulled it off really well.
That's perfect. Really highlights that character, makes him look. He was in build. He was pretty vicious in that first half of the season, and
he looks menacing.
He highlights that menacing look really well.
Yeah, that looks cool, and the wires and everything really stand out, so that looks cool.
Yeah, and it's not like you're not highlighting the character a lot, but that backlighting is it's really nice.
It's almost setting up like a really cool silhouette shot.
Yep, exactly. Quality.
Oh man, I love me some Drive.
Yeah, Drive's another great season. I
own a lot of stuff from the Drive series.
Do you have Trideron?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I've been looking for Trideron, honestly.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's expensive. It's expensive.
I know.
And
He's
I'm like,
beautiful, though. He comes with so much good stuff.
Yeah, I've got the Ride Alone, and I'm like, I can't display this anywhere. It takes up a whole detolf.
Yeah. Oh man, I wish I had that. I wanted to get that too. I wanted to get a couple of the vehicles. The only one I have is Motion Chaser's bike.
That's a good one to have.
Yeah, it's a good one. It looks good.
I've got that one too, and I've got Maha's bike as well. Yeah,
nice.
I
love the bikes. They look so good.
Those two are my favorite from that season. Best bros.
Okay, this is what I got to show. Here we go. That's the picture I was looking for. Let's find it. Because this is one of the figures that got me. Oh, here's another Momotaro shot from.
Yeah,
here we go.
That's a good one. Sitting on top of a baddie. That's great.
But whooped.
Yep.
But the one I wanted to show. He also has been doing some Mythic Legion stuff. So this is right up my alley.
Nice.
I need to start a Malifar figure in recently.
I need to start getting into Mythic Legions. I need to get some goblins. I mean, with Cosmic.
Like Cosmic. There you
go. I was thinking about it, but I'm like, I don't know if I can do that right now.
Oh man, they're so good. Okay, I love this picture.
Yeah, Hirobi. That's a good one. That's such a great figure too. So like now, I can't believe how expensive that figure's gotten. It's insane.
It seems like Kamen Rider does that a lot.
Purple Riders
get a figure when it first comes out.
Purple Riders just go up for some reason in price.
Now this is the Kamen Rider figure that got me into Kamen Rider to buy the figures in the first place.
Hell yeah.
Rider Tiger just looks so badass.
He's got like two different weapons too, those big old claws, and then doesn't he have like another weapon?
Axe.
Yeah, that's
big ass axe. He's like the original Blue Ranger, basically.
Yeah. That's a nice figure. And same with the purple, the Oja.
Oh
from the same series. Those Ryuki's just got some really good quality. Like they have the same base kind of suit, but with each one having a different animal motif.
Yeah. Different accents to the costumes.
They look really good.
Ryuki is the one that has the dragon, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I have that too. I love that figure.
Yeah, that's a nice figure.
I always wanted the what's the black dragon's name? The guy that goes with the black dragon.
Ryuga.
There you go. That's the one I always wanted. He's cool.
That one's pretty expensive too nowadays. But
I think that's why I got Ryuki instead.
Yeah. But you can still find them. Just you're gonna have to be paying $300.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good on the Saber. That one's one of my favorites. I love Forze, and I don't know why, but when I was watching it, I was like, this is just like one of the most fun series. And I watched all of the movies like immediately after, and that form is so cool. I loved how he added the has the skis. Yeah.
Is that one pretty over the top?
It's pretty out there. I mean, it's basically it's more down to earth in the sense that there's not a lot of like darkness to it. It was a pretty lighthearted series because during that time in Japan, I think either the earthquake had just happened, and Toei was like, we need to kind of make a series that can get kids kind of rallied together and feel a little better about the situation and stuff. And so Forze was a little bit. Most of Forze is pretty much just like, I want to be your friend, I'm gonna kick your ass kind of thing.
Some Goku shit.
Yeah, it's really fun though. It's such a good series. At the end of it, I was crying a little bit because there's just some good scenes on it, and you're like, I can't believe this is doing this to me. That's a good Genem shot.
Yeah, I love the zombie.
He's got that zombie walk down.
That's like one of my favorite figures too, even though he's really limited in his articulation, especially in the chest area. But I love that whole like the super dead heat, that body too. Just love the design, but it's not very good in articulation.
Yeah, some just are really hindered based on like how the suit looks, pretty much. You know, like it's just how it is. That wizard figure is really good too.
I love the wizard.
And that cloth or the skirt.
He has a cloth skirt upgrade.
That's actually with the figure. So
that's the revival one, huh?
Yeah, the renewal.
The renewal, yeah.
Figure. And
I haven't got any of those.
Those are absolutely some of the best figures.
Wait, I think my skull was a renewal.
Yep, that's probably
I have
one of the renewals.
Yeah,
he's pretty. I try to get all the renewals just because they're proportion right, and the way they move is just incredible. As far as
they're like a little chunkier in certain instances and stuff.
They just look more like the show proportions. So they're like they're the 1.0 releases. They look kind of clunky if you put them next to each other.
Yeah,
you can see how much better the 2.0 the renewal versions are.
Because they did a renewal on the what are the little the lackey guys? Can't having a brain fart right now.
The Shockers.
Yeah, the Shockers. Yeah. See, I have the old school ones, and they feel so cheap. Like.
Yeah, I don't know if so. Shinkocho Seiho is the renewal line, and I don't know if they've done Shockers of those because they've done 2.0s of other figures, but not in the renewal line itself.
Oh, okay.
So I don't think they've done Shocker Combat Men yet, but they've done quite a few. They've done all of Kabuto, which are now seem a little outdated compared to like some of the bodies that have come out in the renewal line, like Kiva and Ixa have some amazing figures now out of the renewal line.
Nice.
So,
I need to pick one up just to see how the quality is.
Yeah, definitely. O's has probably one of the best renewals because the combo change system on it, so you can literally take off like the head and the arms and swap them in between the other forms in the renewal line.
Nice. Now we haven't seen this this blue guy yet, really.
Blades.
Haven't seen him at all.
Yeah, he's from Kamen Rider Saber.
He's like one of the less popular ones, or what?
Yeah, he's the secondary rider, you know.
Oh, okay.
Secondary riders are pretty cool, but
I like his design. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's actually a lot better as far as articulation goes than Saber.
Really? Okay.
The dragon on Saber's pauldron a little kind of throws it off a bit, but Blades doesn't have that issue. His arms are free, but he's got that big line on his chest, so it kind of
can't crunch.
Yeah, or else like I know when I mess with him, sometimes I'll hit the book gimmick and it'll fly out. You know, those little tiny gimmicks are just the worst.
I was thinking that like the lion would end up scratching his chest paint or something like that.
It's actually it's pretty good there, but it'll hit the his belt.
His belt, yeah, and
that's kind of the issue. But he's a good figure. The only thing too with some of those, like with Saber and Blades, is they don't hold the swords very well. Their holding hands are just very loose.
Yeah, I've noticed that with a lot of the rider figures. They don't hold their accessories very well. But that's probably because they're probably trying to like recycle the same set of hands over and over again or something.
Yep.
With minimal part change. Now this one, I love this one.
That's a renewal figure.
Yep.
And that one, that's probably one of the most expensive renewal figures.
Was that like one of the first ones they put out, or no? No.
I don't know if it was one of their first. I think Kabuto and like Gaddock and stuff were one of their first, but Eternal was definitely.
I think it was the first one with the cape like that, right?
Yeah, and that cape is all wired and everything, and it's when they do that, when they add the wired capes, it's just such a awesome accessory.
It makes you wonder why they don't do it more.
You know, and people are like, oh, it's cost. It's like, yeah, but I'll pay a bit more for a nice cape.
Not to mention we're already paying like $80 and upward for these figures to start. So it's like
exactly. And a lot of the Saber figures and stuff, you know, I think like for Saber, that one was like selling for like $30 to $40, and they're trying to have introduction level figures to where, you know, anyone can kind of jump in on it. But then they'll sell P Bandai figures and it's like $120, and it's just a lot of money to put down. So
it sucks.
Yeah,
you can't pre-order it. You got to pay right up front for it. It really sucks. And they've really cut out a lot of collectors by doing that, I feel like.
Yeah, thankfully, if you go through Chug Collectibles, though, you can pay a deposit, and it doesn't feel like you're paying so much. But you know, at the end of the day,
eventually
you're paying for it
when it finally comes out.
It's still a lot of money.
Let's move on to our last photographer here, and he actually has a pretty decent following, but
but should be way more.
Yep, here we go. We have our last photographer for the night, Kamen Banana, Leo.
We have him and I talk quite a bit. We're pretty tight. We do a lot of collabs together. So we did a Metal Cluster Hopper one. We've done
is that one right here?
I think it's not that one.
It's a couple down.
Yeah, it's the one a couple down right there.
This one. Nice.
So him and I will always get a couple other guys and do some collabs together. We're actually doing one this weekend or this week. So,
well, when I think collab work, what I think is, let me see. Let's see if we can find it. This one that you guys all did together with the Persona figures.
It's up a bit.
Is it?
Yep.
Did I pass it?
Right there. Yep. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun. He edited all those pictures, and dude knows what he's doing.
Apparently. Oh my god, I don't know how to swipe. Okay. Yeah, this was such a cool shot that you guys all did together. Yeah, so yours was the
Panther.
Panther, yeah, you did Panther. Yeah, and I showcased that when we were showing your shots because I love that.
Yep. No, that's one of my all-time favorite shots, mostly because he edited that so well.
It was dope, yeah. But your shot was good too to start with, obviously.
Yep.
But the reason I wanted to showcase Kamen Banana is because he kind of does a lot more editing, than most of us. And but his edited work is amazing.
Yeah, he's top notch, man. He'll make it look real. It's like I can do it to an extent, but I'll do practical stuff. Like I think we did a Blades collab. Actually, that same picture that you're on was our collab, and mine was I used plastic, blue plastic sheeting and saran wrap for my picture, and he actually added freaking water with his edit. So he knows what he's doing, and he's got amazing pictures.
What I really like is when he does the let's see if I can find one. I think I saw one up here more like this stuff when he does these.
Oh, the explosion shots, yeah.
Not just the explosion, but the text and everything, where it almost looks like a poster or like a screenshot from a video or something like that.
Well, in 01, the finishers actually appear on screen. So that the wording and stuff of the finisher comes up on the screen as he's finishing the enemy. So it's very reminiscent of the show itself.
Okay, cool.
But he's definitely one of my favorites.
Find some other ones that kind of show off what I was talking about. But yeah, he does some really unique stuff with his edits and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they look good. It's not like they don't look bad. You know what I mean? Sometimes people do a ton of editing and it just looks goofy.
Too much,
Yeah. I mean, he's doing a lot of editing, but it's blended well and it looks cool. It adds to the figure, adds to the picture.
Right. It doesn't detract from the figure itself. It's just a nice supplement to the figure.
I was trying to go further, but it looks like he's having an issue with it. Here, we'll show off some good posing from him.
Yeah, that's a good one. I just love that lighting too, and he'll do his behind the scenes stuff, and it's just like a couple lights and just a couple figures, and it comes out amazing.
He doesn't have all the dioramas and all the stuff like we do, or what?
Like, well, he's got some pieces and stuff, but like lately he's just been doing it like on a stack of
freeballing it.
Yeah, and then he's like, I'll just edit everything in. I got this.
That's all. I mean, I wonder how much time he spends editing these things, because it can't be a little bit,
Right. I know. When I'm sending him, he's like, oh, I think when our Persona 5 collab, I was kind of like a little bit behind on it, and I was like, how about we just like push it back to Sunday, because he's over in Malaysia. So I was like trying to get the time frame down for him.
Yeah.
And I was like, how about I just send you it on Friday and we just post on Sunday so you can give you some time to edit. And then he sends it back like Saturday, like I'll send it Friday night. He's got it done Saturday morning for me. I'm like, how the fucking hell?
You're like, okay, well, I was expecting this to take longer, but
yeah, I was like, okay, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, it's awesome shots, and his lighting's amazing too.
Yeah, it's
and
colorful.
Whether it be in camera or post, like light edit, it's beautiful because it looks natural and like good,
Even that Kyogre one down in the bottom right there, he just took a picture of someone and then edited in Kyogre breaching the water. Like, that's a good mix of realism and figure photography.
It looks like a scene out of like a movie, like an Indian movie or something.
It looks like a post-apocalyptic Pokemon movie almost.
Yeah, it does. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely go check out Kamen Banana. He's definitely a good homie.
Yeah, he might be one of the accounts that we're featuring tonight with some of the most followers, but still, go head over and give him a follow if you're not already, because he does some really cool stuff. Like Fignata said, he helps others. Like, they'll send him photos and he'll edit them and do stuff like that. So he's obviously very active in the community and stuff like that too. So
yeah, he'll help you out. And if you want to do a collab with him, he easily lets you in on collabs. He's very not exclusive, but inclusive, I guess.
And he'll turn it out in one day, so be ready.
Yeah. That one's a great one of Vulcan.
This looks cool.
Yeah.
I love this shot too. It's just super simple, but
that one he edited. I think if you scroll to the right on that picture, yeah, he did a Captain America Henshin.
Nice.
So he did this whole thing for.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's a great little series he did.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Basically turned the Kamen Rider into Captain America. That's nuts.
Yeah.
That is a cool edit. You guys got to check out that one. The Patriotic Hopper post. That's cool. Nice. So, yep, that's Kamen Banana. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap up the show for tonight.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Michael, for coming on and being a guest host.
Thanks for having me. It's a lot of fun.
Anytime, man. It was a lot of fun. Go ahead and give a shout out. Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Fignata, and I'm also on Twitter I go by Michael Pyre, MyChalPyre, and yeah, post a lot of toy photography, and check out my story. I post a lot of post practicing and stuff, and just have fun with it. It's what it's all about.
Yeah, and if you want to get some tips from posing, I mean, Fignata is the guy to hit up, because if you see some of his posts, I mean, his posing's on point. He's only been doing it for 3 years, people. 3 years.
Hey, I learned from the best. There's a lot of guys out there in the community that you can just kind of watch and emulate. The Amazing's out there. He's always posting videos and making things good. Got a couple homies too. J Mad 410. You can check him out on Instagram. And Just Onyx, they're huge homies. We're always tagging each other and our posts and stuff, and they're just good guys to watch and to learn from.
And they both have shown. They both have shown up on the Kamen Rider official page too, right?
Yep.
Like the Team Rider page.
Team Rider US. Yeah, Jay's has done a lot of things for him. Metallics too. Metallics XD. He's another guy that just watches behind the scenes stuff. Watches look what he posts and just try to don't copy and paste, but look at what he does and see what you can take from it. And so it's all about. It's just art. You're all looking at each other's posts and having fun. Yep. So definitely
don't copy, but imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So
right,
you can always imitate.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of I didn't necessarily know what I was doing, but I watched these guys, and you grow and make your own style, and that's what's fun.
And yeah, you might start off like taking after a certain person, but then like as you get more used to your camera and your what you like to do, you're gonna find your own style, and soon enough people are gonna be copying you or like looking to you for to imitate your art and things like that. So
yeah, it's one of the weirdest feelings when I got guys comment or like messaging me and going, man, I wish I could take pictures like you. And I was like, man, I was telling that to other guys like years ago. Now people are telling that to me. It feels weird.
It's an awesome feeling.
Yeah, it's like, wow, I guess I have kind of made a small name for myself.
Thank you so much for joining us. This has been another episode of Major's Picks. You guys know where you can find me. I'm Major Reaction on Instagram. You guys can find me on Twitter as well. I don't do all that much over there. Just hang out with Fignata, and we share each other's crap all the time, but that's about it. You guys can find me on the Geek Out Show every week, and find my YouTube channel where this will be posted up at. So we'll see you guys there. You guys all have a great night.
Have a good one.
Later.